This is Michael David Cobb Bowen for Cobb Vision, and today is an interesting day. I have been reading around the blogosphere on the latest treatise by Dick Morris, who is one of the captains of the old Clinton war room, a Clintonista from way back when, who has made a rather nasty prediction. And his nasty prediction is that Obama will win the black vote in South Carolina, and by winning the black vote, he will solidify white support for Hillary Clinton, and therefore Hillary Clinton will become the Democratic nominee for president for 2008, which is basically saying that Hillary is going to win the Democratic nomination on the strength of how can you put it any clearer than that? I guess the white reactionary racist vote. This is really dicey territory, and on the one hand, there's got to be things that have to be said when you talk about how people are going to pay attention to race and racial ideas, and how the Democrats actually deal with race in terms of block voting, and you talk about the history of how black interests have always been seen to be defined by the ability of blacks to get majority-minority districts, and the whole circus about redistricting and all that kind of thing. And then, of course, people like me on the right are very curious to see examples of how a Republican non-racial, paying no attention to race, paying no special consideration to African American voters, has its advantages, and how the Democrats rather take the black vote for granted without actually doing anything special for black constituents or a black policy. So all that is to say that the tables are turned, and to put a soundbite kind of thing on it, this is the Clintons' South Carolina strategy, or an updating of the Southern strategy, which is basically, well, go let them get the black votes. That's going to get us all the white votes we want. And we're going to get more white voters than Obama because he's just a black candidate. Obama, of course, has kind of been playing rather noble in this. He's not going to get down and dirty, although it has been getting dirty, and I wrote something about that last week when Obama actually didn't directly respond to Hillary Clinton's comments about Martin Luther King, but he had to eventually go on record as saying something, and he basically said that he thinks that she made a regrettable error in that remark, and she did backtrack away from it, but the knives are out, and I think it's pretty clear right now that there's a white woman versus black man thing going on, and South Carolina is going to be something of a litmus test. My idea at this point is that what should happen is that Obama should say, okay, yeah, I'm the black candidate. I'm the one that everybody thinks is not experienced enough to do this. And essentially he has to have a black moment in the same way that Mitt Romney had his Mormon moment, which is to come out there and say, okay, this is what it means to me to be black, and this is what it means to me to be a black candidate running for president, and go ahead, throw whatever you're going to throw at me. That's who I am. That's where I'm coming from, and it kind of disarms everybody else, because he's going to be the one now putting it on the table and saying, okay, well, if you think that me being black means I can't run foreign policy, fine. I will admit that I'm not a foreign policy genius, and maybe that's because I'm black. And if you think that me being black means that I can't run an executive office or be commander-in-chief, well, maybe that has something to do with it, and I'm not a great executive, but maybe that has something to do with I'm being black. And you go down the line with all of his perceived weaknesses, and then say, but if you think all of that has to do with the fact that I'm black, then you're a racist. and I don't want your vote anyway. And that's going to put everybody back on their heels, and they're going to say, oh man, this is actually what Hillary Clinton has been doing, and she wants those votes. And it's going to backfire on Clinton if Obama goes out and does that, the same way that Huckabee's evangelistic support died when he kind of sidled up to the anti-Mormon thing. Now, of course, Huckabee didn't explicitly say that he was running on an anti-Mormon platform, but he wasn't rejecting Christian fundamentalist votes. So that's the kind of way that you really have to go. Obama has to go there because Dick Morris has gone there. And he has essentially said, you know, this is going to be the ethnic voting thing, and we're going to do it by race, and we're going to start counting noses, and we're going to say that Obama is a minority candidate. And then Mickey Kaus did the same thing over at Slate. He kind of echoes this and says, yeah, that's Obama's in the ghetto. And so this is a very interesting turning point. Let's see if Obama can capitalize on it. And we'll have our fingers crossed, because quite frankly, I'm one of those Republicans who says anybody but Clinton. And if Obama can expose really clearly what kind of manipulations and machinations the Clintons are capable of, and what kinds of lies and distortions they run on, and the country gets rid of them, I would take 4 years of Obama just to be rid of those Clintons. So this is Michael David Cobb Owen for Cobb Vision, and I'm out.